All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Geekdom Movies. We're doing a very special episode of the first year of 2023. We got to see Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. And the reason I say that is because it's not going to be the last wish. I feel like there's more wishes coming. My wish is more Shrek movies, and there might be more Shrek movies, but I can't say why until you see the movie.
Go see the movie.
Go see the movie. We're gonna go really quickly here, guys, because this was a short film. What did I say?
Short leche. No.
Leche.
All right, we're gonna do a short review because it's a short film, but I think I haven't heard from their point of view yet, but I think we all loved it. I love this movie. I don't remember Puss in Boots. I think I saw it a while ago. Like, it's been 10 years since I've seen it. Shrek movies are even older. So when they announced Puss in Boots 2, I was just like, why? Like, you know, How to Train Your Dragon 3 and Kung Fu Panda 3 were just so great. Make a sequel to those. Like, Shrek in universe is dead. Oh, I am dead wrong. This movie, Puss in Boots, Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek, whoever the dog is, I don't even know. John Mulaney as the villain. Oh my gosh, I can't spoil who he is, but he is great here as the villain. This movie is about Puss in Boots. He learns that he only has he's on his 8th death because they have 9 lives. 8 lives he's relived and passed through, and now he's on his 9th. He wants to make a wish so he can get his 8 lives back and go back to being the swashbuckling Zorro Puss in Boots hero of the movie. You think it would just be a straight up comedy, and it was. I laughed a lot. But it's not. There's so much more happening here. I really enjoyed Antonio Banderas. He's so great here. There's a side character that gets introduced in this movie that I will literally riot if that character isn't this. It's a dog. And if in the next Puss in Boots or Shrek movies, if the dog isn't there, I probably won't watch the movies. I love this stupid dog. And it's funny to say it because when he first came on screen, I was just like, I hate the stupid dog.
I know. We thought he was going to be annoying.
He was annoying. And then,
yeah,
but as he kept going, the more you fell in love with the stupid dog.
He was so annoying, he was adorable.
This movie did some new things with animation. It's a mix of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse kind of animation style with 3D still. It's still 3D, but in a very unique way. Me and George talked about this real quick. The action kind of stinks up the screen when it's stop motion, but thankfully it's not in there for too long. Maybe a minute or maybe 2 minutes or so during the action scenes. Thankfully it's very little, but I wish in the next movies or whatever Puss in Boots 3 or the Shrek movies, they don't bring that part of the stop action, whatever action scene is, and just stick to the animation style, because the animation style in this movie is so eye-catching, so high level, interesting way to do it. I'm very excited to see where this franchise goes now. I loved this movie. I laughed, I cried. There's so many emotional moments. There's a whole thing about like Antonio Banderas' character that they didn't really explore in the first movie, Puss in Boots or the Shrek movies, and here they really delve into why and who he is and what it means to be a hero and what it means to be Puss in Boots, and it really feels like Puss in Boots has grown up in some ways. Antonio Banderas is, of course, just absolutely fantastic. Salma Hayek is back, and she's way better in this movie than she was in the last movie, too. And the villain was great. There's these 3 bears and Goldilocks that there's a whole story with them, and that I won't go into because of spoilers, but I'll just say they were absolutely fantastic. George, you saw this movie twice. Tell us your review of Puss in Boots 2.
I'd have to say this movie, I wasn't expecting it for me to get this emotional watching it, but it was really phenomenal. I'd have to say, I'm going to try to go watch this with as many people as possible.
Right.
You saw it twice, right?
Yes, I've seen it twice, which I normally don't even do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was so good the first time, so good the second time. Like, even the second time around, I was still almost in tears at certain points. So, like, yeah, I'm going to try to watch this again.
What did you think of, we talked a little bit about it, but the stop action,
Stop action, I couldn't really stand it, but it was better the second time around than it was the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't seem quite as bad, but maybe that's because like the second time around I was able to pick up more like details.
The first time
of
you were
it.
annoyed.
The
This
first time
you
I
were
was
like,
just
I already know it's coming. I'm ignoring this.
Exactly. But like I was able to look at like some of like the
The detail?
some of the detail with the animation during the stop action, so that way I wasn't focusing on the stop action itself.
That makes sense.
And yeah, it looked a lot better that time around. I'm trying to think what else. Other than that, I really liked some of the interesting like ideas they introduced in it that like you wouldn't really normally consider in a Shrek movie. I think they really definitely had a way to pull at your heartstrings with this one. And,
yeah.
It was very good.
I would say this is probably more heart like wrenching than like. Well, as much as the Shrek movies, yeah. Like, at least the first two, yeah, or maybe even the fourth one, but
maybe even that one, yeah.
So, golden popcorn for you.
Yep.
Rob, what did you think of Puss in Boots 2?
I was actually shocked that I actually liked it as much as I did. I watched the first one like 2 days ago, and for me it was just like really good background noise. I was able to listen to it, pay attention to it, but it was background noise. I'm not sitting down watching it.
Oh, really?
And then like when I saw this, I was right there glued to the screen. I was not getting up, going to the bathroom. I was watching every moment of this. For me, I really enjoyed the fact that it tugs at your emotions in different ways. Mm-hmm. It starts off kind of like how the last movie was, where it's kind of predictable. Like you think you know what's going to happen in the movie, and then it gets to like a point where it's really really sad, and like you start shedding a tear, and it comes out with comedy, and then like there's a ton of comedy, and then they play puns and jokes, and they don't stop with them. And so like
you and me were dying.
Oh yeah,
we were laughing out loud.
It was a comedy show for me.
Yeah.
It was like the cheapest ticket I've ever paid for a comedy show. I loved it.
You said something really good earlier about this being the opening act.
Yeah, so like, well, that might get into a spoiler, so I don't want to.
You can say it for this.
Okay, so like, for me, I think it's gonna be like, it's kind of like the opening act, a comedy show. Like, it's an opening act for something that's coming greater later.
Yeah.
Oh, like in the second half, you mean?
Yes, there's something's gonna be greater after this.
You like it's going towards it's building towards something, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
yes.
I said this was like an 1.5 hour long trailer for the next, if there's another movie coming.
Really? I think this movie stands on its own,
it
man.
totally stands on its own. But
okay.
it's like
I wouldn't say that.
I'm just saying that it's investing you into the franchise so much more, and it's getting its audience to buy into this world again after 10 years of us not being in this world. And
it's been a long time.
Completely above and beyond succeeded at doing that for me. And I am now back in and invested and want to be in this universe again.
Let's dig into that. That's actually really interesting. You think after like Kung Fu Panda ended with their franchise, How to Train Your Dragon 3 ended with the third one too. And they kind of like closed off those stories. Yeah. And then they're like, I don't think we've explored enough of more. I never thought about it this way, but it's true. We have not explored enough of the Shrek universe.
Yeah.
There's so much there. Because like I can't say that about Kung Fu Panda after the third one. I can't say that about How to Train Your Dragon 3. And I definitely can't say that about... I haven't seen Boss Baby 1 or 2.
Get into spoilers?
But
in order to talk about this, I'm saying.
But let me finish my thought.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
And then Boss Baby 1 and 2 has not really been what they were hoping for. I don't think they're that popular of movies, but I think their golden ticket, the thing that really keeps DreamWorks paycheck coming in, has always been the Shrek universe.
Oh yeah, always.
So yeah, I agree with you. So Rob, golden popcorn?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep, golden popcorn.
All right, we're going. Golden Park for everybody here. We're going into our spoiler reviews. Come back and let us know if you haven't seen it. I don't think a lot of people have seen this movie because Avatar has been like the thing to watch this holiday season. But I think now that everybody's kind of like through the Christmas and New Year's and with their families have seen it, I think now, because I didn't get a chance to even want to see it until now because of the holiday season. And now that I have, I would say Puss in Boots definitely deserves like family outing. Like you deserve to go out.
Use those Christmas gift cards that you just got. Go up to the movie theater, watch Puss in Boots. That's what I would do.
And watch Puss in Boots, right. And I think it's definitely It sucks that Avatar came out because that's the only thing anybody's focusing on these the last few weeks. But again, I think people are really gonna discover this movie, whether it's on streaming or later. Maybe people will go now see it in theaters, and I think it's gonna excite people. I think the word of mouth for Puss in Boots too, because I've been watching the box office. I didn't tell you guys this, and it's kind of been the first week it was kind of like but then the second week it kind of doubled. And then third week it doubled. Now it could be because people wanted to see Avatar first and just ignored Puss in Boots and like, oh that's right, Puss in Boots in 2. Maybe this week we can go see it. And like, or I believe it's a mix of that and word of mouth. Because I think you saw Grace's review and I seen a lot of my friends' reviews, and they came out of that movie just like praising it like it's like the best animated movie ever. And I don't think I'm trying to think, what did we have for animated movies this year? We had
Avatar
is not,
it's CGI, but it's kind of animated.
no, it's a live action.
Okay, all right.
You can't call
That's not live action.
Yes.
It's kind of its own thing.
No,
It's
no,
CGI.
it's
It's
CGI.
as live action as
It's-
Pinocchio.
Yeah, but like Avatar is made to feel like it's photorealistic.
Yeah,
like
it's
a real,
made to feel
like
that way.
when
yeah.
you see like Ant-Man and when you see these movies, like you don't say it's like cartoon, you say it's live
I guess
action.
the lines are now becoming blurred between animation and live action, which is a new thing we have not really dealt with much before.
I think the animation cannot blur those lines, because when you watch a Marvel or Avatar or a sci-fi, it has to look photorealistic, because you want technology to catch up so much like Avatar did, where you're not saying it's cartoon, but I think animation needs to stay animation.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, sure, Paddington, yeah, I guess like you want Paddington to look like it's photorealistic of a bear in like the real world. But other than that, animation needs to stay animation, and I think this movie jumped the gun to like kind of incorporate like the Spider-Verse animation style in 3D,
Yeah.
which is a cool concept. But I don't want Pixar and Disney movies to look live action. Absolutely not.
No.
You can make Lion King live action. You can make Little Mermaid or
Oh.
Mulan, which
That's
again,
Lion King.
that was so bad. But like, here I want animated and Pixar movies. Like when I see a Pixar movie or Moana, I don't want them to look real at all.
No,
Like,
you want it cartoony.
yeah, like Big Hero 6 is one of my favorite movies of Disney in the last like 10 years. I love the little black blocks that come together and make things.
Oh yeah.
And like I just love the concept of Big Hero 6. But like I don't want it to look like as groundbreaking as those blocks looked and cool as it still looked animated.
Mm-hmm.
And Moana with the water, water in Moana is animated. It needs to stay
It's
animated.
cartoon water, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I watch Avatar, it does not look animated.
No,
it looks like
okay.
they went to the ocean and put a camera somewhere.
So
That's what I'm saying. Like the animation in Puss in Boots is next level animation.
Yes, this animation in this movie is just like absolutely incredible. I didn't think anything would top like the visual, just from a visual effects perspective. I didn't think anything would top Avatar, and this is like on par. Like it's so good. You're almost like, is that a real cat? You know what I mean? Like it's so good.
What?
I'm not saying that it looks like a real cat. It still looks like a cartoon, but
Okay.
but like the texture on his fur looks real.
Oh, like
hair
it's more
pops
rendered and detailed.
Yes, it's so detailed and so
Oh.
it looks realistic in some ways that it could look realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really enjoyed the map changing of
That
the
was
last
really
half.
cool. Mhm.
That really is the bread and butter of this movie, is just them entering that portal into like trying to get the wish in the forest. That's when the movie really takes off for me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't say this earlier, but I really didn't like that whole house scene with the cats.
See, I
hated that
really
whole scene.
I thought it was kind of cool because it showed him like losing himself and then he finds himself again, and it didn't last too long.
No, but it was definitely the downer of the movie. That's when I
Yeah,
wish
it
I
was
could have
kinda
gone to
sad.
pee.
But it takes you on
Yeah.
that emotional roller coaster that I think, which is what I enjoyed out of this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like that's when you started feeling sad for him. He just went from being Zoro to nothing. Like he was just another cat eating catnip and sitting there.
Maybe
in that
that
swing.
was the intention,
Mhm.
and if that was the intention, I guess
It was.
I have
the
less
intention.
night. But it was just it's gonna be the one scene that if I watch again, that I'm gonna fast forward. or like kind of zone out a little bit.
Death was such a cool character in this movie. That's when I was sold, is right at the beginning when you went to pee, Fahad.
Okay,
Death
I missed that entire plot.
Yeah,
I think he might actually be my favorite character in it.
The wolf?
Yeah.
He was scary, yo.
He was scary, yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? And
I knew
why?
he was Death as soon as he came on screen, but at first they sold it as just a bounty hunter.
I was so confused.
Yeah, he was a bounty hunter, but like once they got to that map world, like, and the map was constantly changing.
Yeah.
Even his personality changed at that.
Really?
Yeah, because like he was all about like detecting fear, and then once Puss in Boots didn't have that fear anymore, he kind of changed his moral at that too. Like he was like he was no longer about like fighting the bad guy.
Oh,
and this.
I didn't think about that. That's a really great perspective.
So even in that map area, everybody's personality changed.
So are you saying he was a bounty hunter that became Death?
No, he just was Death. He's the Grim Reaper. They called him a bounty hunter. It was like his disguise. And then it's like the big revelation. Oh, you're the Grim Reaper. You're Death.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I knew from the second that he was on screen.
We were talking about that earlier.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if he was just like calling himself, his name is like Death because he wants to be Death, or if he's actually Death.
Oh no, he's actually literally Death.
He even
says in the movie, "I'm not a metaphor for death. I'm not."
That's right.
I'm literal death.
Totally forgot, and that was a great scene because he did a whole spiel about why he's like, no, I'm telling you right now.
I don't mean transcendentally. I don't mean existentially. I don't mean any. I mean literally death. That's what.
That's a mic drop. That's really good, Shannon. Oh my God, you're blowing my mind. So like he said he'll be back for him, and then Puss in Boots was kind of like, oh, I'll be waiting for you. Like he's not afraid of him anymore.
He's not afraid of him anymore.
Like he's like accepting him. You will meet again.
Because everybody knows death is imminent. Like it's gonna happen. So
right.
He's not afraid of it now.
So wait, here's the question: what happens at the end when they rip the paper and the wish and the forest? Does it all just go away now? The forest
nobody got a wish is what happened.
Right, but what happens to the forest and the magic? Does it go away too?
It just goes back to before they stepped on the map. It was like a field with flowers.
Well, that's just stupid.
Why?
Sorry. I really like the forest idea. I wanted to keep it in the movie. It was cool.
Yeah.
But I guess if the wish is gone, it goes back.
So I know you guys didn't know like Goldilocks. I liked the Goldilocks story. I thought it was interesting that
no. It's not that we didn't like it. It's the fact that
the same joke made 10 times was.
Yeah, how many times are you gonna say, "Oh, this is soft. Oh, this is too hard. This is too cold."
Right.
Just right. Like they did that 4 times.
They did.
It's like I've read the book.
And
it was even long in the book, and the book is 10 pages.
Right. Exactly. Right. But like at the same time, we never found out from the book what happened after this. Because I think in the book she just gets eaten by the bears, and to fast forward 10 years and see like, oh, she's 16 now or whatever she is, and now she doesn't know who her family is, and she's been raised by bears. Like that's an interesting character. They probably could have done more with it if they wanted to make the movie longer, but I think it's an interesting character.
Absolutely.
And I think they could have done more with it, but I liked that the obstacle for the bears was just their house. Their TV, their couch, and their food.
Right.
That was what was slowing them down and stopping them. It wasn't a big monster. It wasn't a mountain. It was just their house.
Right. No,
and
that's true.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
Because that's so true for so many people.
And the dogs was just stop and smell the roses.
That was cute.
Yeah.
That was adorable. But like it also added, I mean, like I said, as the movie progressed, his like whole always staying positive no matter what happens attitude is so. I think kids need to hear that. I mean, there's so much anxiety today. Mm-hmm. You know, like you turn on the news and it's like China threatening war and Russia threatening war, and there's inflation and and there's recession coming, and it's just always so bad. And I think kids need to hear a different message today, and the message is don't let the world's messaging control your peace or your happiness.
Yeah.
And even this is so philosophical and deep about a dog, but here we go. Okay. Like like there's Snapchat and Facebook, and kids and people are just like so obsessed with looking perfect. I do that. Like I'll go online and be like, oh, I don't like this photo of me, and like I'll go out of my way to find the perfect lighting in the photo to post.
Right. Who doesn't? Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's an anxiety inducing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dog is such a representation of like he's cute not because he's like the perfect dog character.
Yeah, he's dirty
with the perfect eyes. He has this ugly sweater, but he's so like the
Optimistic
message.
and
Yeah,
hopeful, yeah.
right. That is. I didn't even think about this, but that's very fucking intelligent.
And then they give him like that super poor sad background too.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to be so positive with that background,
Right.
Yes.
Right.
says even more.
Yeah.
Right. Like it doesn't matter what happened in your past. That shouldn't judge who you become today. And yeah, like that's hard to say like when people have gone through PTSD and all kinds of horrible things, but there has to be a little bit of a middle ground where it's like, okay, something bad happened to me, but that doesn't represent who I am today, and
Right.
I am not that pain. I am not that past.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
I am a fresh new person today. And of course, get therapy if you're depressed and PTSD and something terrible happened. I'm not saying don't do that. Please do. Get counseling, get help, see a therapist. But at the same time, like I think the way you want to look and just like simple line of like social messaging and like news today, like you don't have to follow that track record of what's happening in the world to represent who you are. And I think kids today, I'm so glad I'm not a kid today. I would not make it. So I really enjoyed what the message for this kids is, and I really enjoyed where this franchise is going. There is an ending here where we get to see more of the Shrek universe, and I think, would you guys say that they're gonna do a Shrek movie now?
They better.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna do something in this universe.
What was the name of the city at the end?
Far, far away.
Far,
That's
far away.
That's
That's the
where
Shrek
Shrek.
movie.
Yeah.
So that's what's leading you to believe that it's gonna be Shrek.
Right.
Because he
So-
said we're gonna go visit old friends, which is Shrek and Donkey and Fiona.
Yeah, they're making it very clear, like we're going back to Shrek, which is
And they played the Shrek music.
right.
I don't know necessarily it'll be a Shrek movie.
No, it won't be a Shrek movie.
But it's gonna be in this universe.
I hope it's Donkey, because if you put Puss in Boots and Donkey together, it's gonna be the closing act of this comedy show.
I didn't think about that, but that's actually really funny. A donkey
Plus
and
the
Puss
dog?
in Boots movie.
Oh my god.
With the dog.
Yeah. That's like a buddy comedy with only the buddies.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Right?
I didn't even think about that. No, but I think it could be really done great if you do like like teenage Shrek's kids with the Shrek family.
Oh yeah, they are teenagers now. Dang. Okay.
Or at least that they should be in the movie. I don't know what they're gonna
Yeah,
do.
his triplets are like kids.
Because in Happily Ever
teenagers.
After, they just had kids, or they were just babies, if I
Yeah.
remember.
And that
and-
could be interesting.
And they could do like a whole adventure where like they have to re-step mom and dad's adventures, and something happens from a villain from the past comes back. Could be really cool.
Could be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Check out more reviews. Thank you for joining us for this review of Puss in Boots 2. We had a great time. I hope if you guys have checked it out, check it. Let us know if you liked it as much as we did. Question, concerns, whatever. Leave in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe. Happy 2023. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.